We find out they had 300 businessmen with expertise yesterday. You have 1,000 companies coming in tomorrow. You have the 12 to 2C for the general budget on the table for Sunday, and you have celebrations with TV screens on the streets, in homes and on news websites. I don't know if you guys see what I see, but I don't think there's any coincidences in all the information, but we are going to watch and see because you never know what happens. I don't think anybody has ever seen what we are seeing today. I'm pretty excited about it, just as you should be. Iraq Parliament just said they are going past the budget law amendments this coming Sunday. Frank, Emo, it really looks like all the laws are about to be passed based on what you've been sending me. It really looks like the budget is about to be exposed, maybe Sunday. I don't know. It really looks like the new exchange rate is about to be introduced. Sunday might be very explosive. We may need a few days after Sunday, I don't know. At Trump's table, Iraqi Dinar Bank faces threats of US sanctions. This is a new policy to extricate Iran banking influence from Iraq. Trump has Iran in his targets. He wants all Iran's influences removed from Iraq. Article: Advisor to the US President, Trump is in the process of putting an end to Iranian influence in the Middle East. There seems to be a solid push to remove Iran. I am positive that when the new US Treasury Secretary gives a report to President Trump on the reforms accomplished by Iraq under al-Sudani, that they will finally release this currency from the grasp of the corrupt Washington establishment and finally free Iraq back into a truly sovereign state. President Trump sent our Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent to Iraq to make sure that they got everything done, the new rate, and everything was ready to go from Iraq's point of view. He was told, "Don't come back until you believe it's done." So he's planning to fly back and be home to the States by noon Saturday. So I'm gonna say likelihood is good for us finally to come to an end of this ride. We get notified as early as Saturday or Sunday, and then get started to exchange maybe on Monday or Tuesday. That's where we are right now. That's what I'm hearing. Donald Trump already sent his new Secretary of Treasury to Iraq. Moments after he was signed in, Trump to his Secretary of Treasury, "Go see Sudani and Iraq at the CBI. Lock yourself up behind closed doors. Don't come home until mission is accomplished. It's close." Iraq, Britain sign military deal worth over $600 million. Quote, the German website B News revealed that a deal worth more than $600 million was concluded. President Trump wanted to make sure that Iraq was ready to go and to bring out their new rate, and that rate would theoretically be in their new budget, which is being passed, probably by the weekend. So it could end up going into the printed version of the Gazette and the virtual version of the Gazette on Saturday or Sunday. We believe that it could come out to where things could start happening around noon on Saturday. Al-Sudani has been having one achievement after the other, and the results are out there for everybody to see. If you can't see it now, it's like man. Iraqi bank training on cross-border payments, financial integrity. Quote, the Washington, D.C.-based Institute for Financial Integrity, IFI, has announced the launch of the Financial Integrity and Cross-Border Payments Training Program for the National Bank of Iraq, NBI, developed in partnership with the Central Bank of Iraq, CBI, and K2 Integrity. In the near future, it's unlikely the Vietnam dong will experience a significant increase in value against the US dollar. Here's why. 1. Controlled currency policy. The Vietnamese government closely manages the value of the dong to maintain export competitiveness. A stronger dong could harm Vietnam's economy by making its goods more expensive globally. 2. Inflation and economic balance. Vietnam's bank is cautious about rapid changes to avoid destabilizing its economy. 3. Global dynamics. Vietnam's reliance on exports means its currency value is tied to global trade dynamics, including demand from the US and Europe. Question: when they exchanged currencies in the past, how was it given to you? Mars, right into your bank accounts. Also in the past, before electronics, If it were a smaller amount, they just handed you cash. Foreign Minister, we have not heard any threats from the Trump administration towards Iraq. This is from the Prime Minister. Article quote, the government is committed to diversifying the economy and eliminating the monopoly of rents. So they're going to move from oil to oil, gas, non-oil revenue streams. They're pushing forward. It's really exciting to see how much progress Iraq has made in the last 2 years and the effects it's having on a global scale. The issue of oil smuggling from the Kurdistan region continues to stir controversy within Iraq, as reports indicate that the regional government is exploiting the financial proceeds from smuggling operations to pay its debts to American oil companies. Despite the decisions issued by the federal court on the necessity of subjecting the oil sector in the region to the authority of Baghdad, smuggling operations are still continuing through unofficial outlets, which deprives the state of significant financial revenues. At the same time, the federal government is under international pressure, especially from the United States, to approve additional financial commitments to the region to pay off its debts, even if they are in violation of Iraqi laws. These pressures contributed to the passage of new financial allocations to the regional government within the budget, despite its failure to commit to handing over oil revenues to Baghdad. Regarding the subject, political analyst Ali Fadlallah said in a statement to Al Maluma agency, the Kurdistan regional government is disposing of the capabilities of the Iraqi people away from the authority of the federal government, exploiting the situation to achieve personal interests. He pointed out that some international parties, especially the United States, exerted pressure on the federal government regarding the budget law, which led to the approval of additional financial sums for the regional government to pay its debts to American companies. He explained that this matter reveals the exploitation of the Iraqi people's resources and confirms the weakness of the federal government and its procedures, in addition to the fragility of the political class. He stressed the need for the political class and the federal government to take a firm stance to end this exploitation and prevent the regional government from achieving personal gains at the expense of the national interest. The continuation of these policies reflects the weakness of the federal government in imposing its control over the oil file, which leads to the exacerbation of the economic crisis as a result of the state losing revenues from smuggled oil. It also contributes to deepening political differences between Baghdad and Erbil, as the central government refuses to continue supporting the region financially without its commitment to the laws, while the region exploits its political and international influence to ensure the continued flow of funds to it. Regarding the issue, the member of the Parliamentary Finance Committee, Moin Al-Kadhimi, confirmed in a statement to Al Maluma agency that all calculations for extracting and transporting a barrel of the region's oil at $16 were not estimated by the House of Representatives committees, but were estimated by the negotiations taking place between the Federal Ministry of Oil and the Ministry of Wealth and Natural Resources in the region and the Advisory Board in the Council of Ministers, and this number was agreed upon.